I was so afraid of becoming a statistic that I became a workaholic. When I grew up, when I got out of college, got a job, I was a workaholic. I refused to have kids. Like it was just not a part of my plan at the time. I just wanted to make money and get myself settled, got my house, got a master's degree, like did the things I always wanted to do. Um, or I guess I did the things that I thought I needed to do to make me a successful person. I traveled, I partied, I dated to find this quote unquote one to have kids with later. Like maybe after I get all of these things and become a successful person, become different than my surroundings as a child, become something different than I was in my childhood or the people I knew in my childhood were, maybe then I'll be ready. Like I just had this thing like I need to be ready to be a parent. I need to do these foundational things. And while all of that's true, like it is very helpful to have lived a little bit before you have kids to travel and party and have fun before you have to stay home all the time. It's very helpful to have, a career, some money to take care of the little people and a house or whatever you need to live. Um, but I did all of those things, and then I had a child with a narcissist. What? I was like, oh my God. I had been in an abusive relationship and didn't even realize it. I had no idea what a narcissist was. And then after I had to kill a narcissist and I was a shell of a person and beat down to the core, really, I finally realized on my healing journey after that I had done everything except the one thing that would actually change my future, the one thing that I needed, the thing that would keep me from being like the people I grew up around or make the same mistakes that I saw like my mom and other women make. Like the one thing that I really needed to do was to heal myself. That was the key. That was the thing that would make me a good parent or better than I thought I could be in my mind, better than I saw other women being as parents around me. That thing was healing. I needed healing. So it turned out those external efforts were cool, but none of them changed who I was on the inside. The pain and the trauma that had shaped me as a child was still there, and it was evident because I once again ended up in a relationship with a narcissist, and this time the stakes were higher because I actually had a child with him. And now it seemed like I had no choice. It was like I had finally reached what they call rock bottom, where I could do nothing but look up. Like there was only up from here. I've had a child with the worst person possible in my mind at the time. And so now I have no choice but to do the real work, to do the healing work, to learn how to mother myself back to health. And this is when I started healing in a different way. Therapy had been something I'd known and was comfortable with for years. I've been in therapy like 10 years at that point. And it was okay. Like I got some tools, but there was something different about knowing, cognitively understanding, knowing the tools that were needed to heal, and actually learning how to use those tools and put it into action to get myself from a place where a narcissist felt comfortable, even though he was completely abusive. But that felt comfortable to me at the time. That felt like the best I could do in terms of finding love and acceptance and creating what I thought would be a family. The difference in finding that comfortable because I was in a place of trauma, coming from a place of trauma, to then healing and recognizing it as danger is so huge. And it literally took me developing different skills and learning how to use tools and skills on the fly, to use them and really get them into my system, get them in my body so that they became a normal part of who I am. Just like all the things I learned as a kid became a part of who I am, that trauma became a part of who I am. So every decision I made, the way I looked at life, the way I looked at the outside world was based on who I had become. It was based on trauma. And so now that the healing has occurred, I can look at the world differently. I can see through a healed lens, and even better because I already experienced the trauma and I transformed it. So that inner power, that inner transformation makes me so much stronger than I think I've ever been, so much more powerful, so much braver than I ever remember being. Finally, I have what it takes to be the type of mother I want to be. Now I have the tools to help heal my child who has a narcissistic father. Now I have the tools, the patience, the depth, and the practice intimacy to be there with my children, connected, not distant because I'm focused on my trauma or trying to find love somewhere else. No, I'm connected. I'm there. I'm present. I'm in the moment, loving them, accepting them, being empathetic with them as they go through all the things that it takes to actually grow up in this world. So many parents are disconnected because of their own stuff. And I get it. Like, it's hard to deal with your own trauma while you are raising a family and taking care of other people. It's very difficult to actually take that level of time to yourself to have the breakdown you so deserve. Some of us deserve a breakdown. Well, I'm gonna say some of y'all deserve a breakdown because I did have one and it served my life so well. It was the catalyst for change for me, and it was right after the first baby. It was like, something has to change, and I know it because I want so much better for her. So I have to do something about me and how I'm showing up for her. That change changed all of our lives. That breakdown changed all of our lives. Don't let your trauma and your fear and the old you keep you from moving forward, from going higher, from being the type of parent you really want to be, from being the type of spouse and friend and lover you really want to be. You have the power to heal yourself. You can mother yourself to health. You can nurture yourself to health. And then after you learn some basic foundational mothering and learn to give yourself the grace that you so deserve, you can then learn intimacy. The intimacy is the layers. You start stacking and layering that nurturing through intimacy with yourself and intimacy with your partners, intimacy with your children. As you layer that intimacy and stack it, this is where you become that healthy, whole person that you've always wanted to be. That unstoppable person who nobody can tell you shit. You got it, and you know you got it. You got the tools for you and your family, and you don't feel overwhelmed and stressed out about it. You flow, and you know that your flow is more than enough. You can build this for yourself.